Live from the Scruffy Womp Rat Cantina, this is Under the Twin Suns.
And welcome back to the Scruffy Womp Rat Cantina live from Under the Twin Suns. Thanks for joining us. It's a small crew this week. It's me, your boy Cole, with Steve the Handsome and Chris the Knowledgeable.
Yeah, we got the A team.
Yes, sir. The first string. All right, let's kick off into a fun intro topic that I actually think I've brought this up a couple times. And if I haven't, I meant to, like when I was talking about when I think Quinlan's going to get suspended or banned. What do we all think about Force Throw and whether that's going to get suspended or banned coming with the next set of Legends of the Force? I really do believe this will be a suspended card.
Really? I
Mm-hmm.
really hope they don't suspend it. Like I think the game needs good cards, and I mean it's fair. Like sometimes it can be broken, yes, but there are also there's also some setup that's involved with it. So I don't think it's broken. I think that you have to have force units in your deck and you have to have one of them out. And if all that lines up, your opponent has to be, I don't want to say like not skilled enough, but they have to like have something in their hand, be put into a situation where they have to discard something that can kill one of their units. So like it does have to line up a little bit. Like I don't think it's broken in any way. I personally I hope they don't ban it
Oh,
or
I don't
suspend
want
it,
it to be banned.
whatever.
This is just one of those things that I feel like it's going to be a really, really good combo, almost like Triple Dark Raid, where you get my concern specifically is when you five drop with Quinlan, right? You've got five available resources. You've got Quinlan. Let's say you do the Hot Shot Blaster and the Force Throw. You're just effing everybody up. That's my only concern about it. Not that I think it's
Like
broken.
like when I play Kira, I just hold back my Hylabon Enforcer. I don't play it or my Pike Sentinel. I don't play my early turn plays because I know Chip's going to play that Quinlan and he's going to have that force throw because he always does, and I want to make sure I have cheap stuff in my deck and my hand to be able to discard to it. So I think it's just playing around it. Like it's just a skill thing.
Chris?
It's just get good scrub.
I mean, yeah, but I think the counter to that is I could also discard one of my something in my hand in order to kill a unit. I think there are different ways to play Force Throw. I think it. Uh, I think more than likely it's going to be suspended. Because I think there's leaning so heavily on you having to use the Force.
Yeah.
Um,
And since
that
it
is
doesn't
my
require a Force token, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this card has so much potential, and I think if you're playing red, it's an auto include with if you're using force units, just because you can you're going if you have force units and you're playing red, you're going to be including force throw. At this point, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's a strong card. If I'm playing red and I have force units, I don't want this card to be suspended because I want to play it. I mean, you can wipe a unit out and you can just make someone, discard a card from their hand. I mean, that can help you when you're playing control decks as well. So, I mean, this card can be good on many different levels.
Yeah, this and
I
Pillage are
I
going right
will
into my
shave
repertoire.
my head. I will shave my head if they ban this card. Like I am not. I do not think they will. I'm very certain.
Now, for listeners, because we're an audio only show, I'm definitely the baldest on the podcast. Steve's a close second. So not much of a threat, but I respect it. Um, yeah, but I do agree. We'll see. I'm sure there will be other really broken combos, but I can see this being a real big problem. But I don't think it should be banned. But I also, when we talked about Triple Dark Raid's not going to get banned, and then we were all wrong about that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair.
but
There's
oh, sorry.
there's also so much outcry for it from the community right now, and I feel like FFG tries to listen
Yeah,
and respond accordingly. That also makes me think I also would not be surprised if this card got suspended.
yeah, because it's crazy how we can already play with the next set, and people are already finding the most broken combos.
Yeah, you just give New Vader ambush. That's
Dude, that's
what you
great.
do.
Joe has been working with green Obi-Wan with a yellow base, and by turn 3, he's able to have like a 5/7, whatever that little 2-drop Jedi is, a Plo Koon, and like a clone that's like a 2/3. It's just it's gross. But yeah.
I've been getting a turn 1 Zuckuss
Oh, dude.
with Mystic Monastery and Tarkin, because you keep as I have foreseen in your opener hand, and if you have Zuckuss or any 5-drop like Bosk or any of the good 5-drops, you just you get to see what's on top of your deck. So if you see a really juicy 5-drop on turn 1, you just give yourself the force with that base, and then you play it for free. So I've gotten a turn 1 Zuckuss a couple of times. That's feels pretty good.
Dude, it's going to be a really fun set to play with. But we're also going to have a whole new game mode. We're going to go on to our first main topic. So this is called 3 Decks, 1 Duel. I think it's going to end up getting a nickname of... Oh, no, it's right here. I knew this was why. It's called Trilogy. It's Trilogy.
I was about to say, did you just name it 3 Decks, 1
No,
Duel?
I'm an idiot. That's the name
that
of
sounds a little dirty.
the article. That's the name of the article. If I could read or have comprehension skills, that would be so helpful in my job as host. So check this out. And Steve, correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. In this mode, you will create 3 decks. You cannot have 2 of the same leaders or 2 of the same bases. So like if you run ECL on one of your decks, you can't run ECL on all 3. Also, card restriction rules are going to be between the 3 decks. You can only have 3 copies of a card. So if you're running 3 hero decks and you want a Millennium Falcon in every deck, you can only have 1 in every deck. So that's really fascinating. And there is no sideboard. And as you play, so let's say game 1, I sit down with my 3 decks. First off, you and your opponent are going to ban one of the decks that you each have at the same time, like almost like when you're doing a ban in a video game. I don't want to play this, I don't want to play that. Like if I see a Boba Fett deck, oh, you know that's getting bounced. But after that, you play the first game. And in order to win, if you win with your first deck, you cannot play that in the second game. It's still best of 3. But if you lose, like you have to win with both decks to win, is what I'm trying to say. Which is really, really interesting. The no sideboarding is really cool. The limiting to 3 types, like you can't get 9 overwhelming barrages or 9 takedowns. Like that's fascinating. It's going to really encourage diversity in the meta. And what's even cooler is for now, it's in the Eternal format. So everything that's been banned, nope. We're back, baby. You can play with whatever you want. And the coolest part about this is since this also will ignore rotation.
I am so stoked for this. This new format looks so exciting. Like I'm more intrigued by like that start that they call it the ban phase is what they said in the video. But that whole like playing chicken with your opponent, because like all they get to see is your leader and your base. They don't know what's in your deck. So like my first thought goes to like I'm gonna try and hide what my deck is, and so like you could take a hard control deck like a Bosk Blue, take out the bounties, and make a Grand Inquisitor from set 1 with blue, and have that be your leader and base, but just have all the hard control stuff in it. And you're over there untapping your Dr. Pershings, your clients, you're untapping all these like stuff you would play in hard control. You still get value out of your leader, but your opponent may see that Grand Inquisitor blue and think, oh, that's his aggro deck. I can line up my control deck versus that and be good against it. And no, it turns out that's your hard control deck. So like you can play these mind games. Like you could have Padme red and that be just a Sabine list, just without Sabine. Like you could really play with your opponents. Like I've been playing. I told Ruben before the cast. I told him I was like, what I really want to do is show up because I love Kira. It's my favorite deck to play. I want to show up to my first event with a Kira Data Vault, a Saj 30-point green, and a Krennic ECL, and just like the 3 of the same decks, but you don't know which one is built correctly and which one is just like scrap just thrown into the pile. So like I just really like that band phase thing. I think that's gonna be really fun trying to play chicken with your opponent.
So as always, you guys are thinking, how can I win? I'm thinking, how can I make the whole room laugh? So my plan is I'm going to do a deck from every trilogy. So I'll have a prequel trilogy, an original trilogy, and a sequel trilogy deck.
I like it.
Yeah. Because there are, okay, as much as I love the sequels, listen, Rey is a damn good leader. Like, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with her. Say what you will about
Rey,
Finn,
I mean,
but Rey. And honestly,
shoot, even the Rose leader is kind
I
of
was
fun.
gonna say I don't like her character. Just healing off a vehicle is not bad, like at
Yeah,
all.
if you
Especially
get
in a
around it, yeah.
format where you need to be more specific with your card choices. You could make a vehicle. We're getting into it. There's options, people. This is the most excited I've been for a game mode personally. Like even no, I can't say that. Twin Suns is still my baby, but still. Chris, thoughts?
So I hear what Steve is saying, but I don't. I mean, yes, the mind games can totally work, but at the same time, I don't know. Like when you have those tried and true decks, I don't know if they'll perform as well when you mess with them. So I think in my mind, I would go with three strong performing, tested decks, and then I would try and use the band phase to knock out something that they wouldn't perform well against. That's my initial thought. I don't know. I do think, we need to see what the exact rules are and, all of the breakdown of exactly how it will work before I would come up with a strategy for it. But I think it's very interesting. It is limiting to, have that card restriction with the copies across all three decks. So I definitely have to pull. I don't think I would have the same. I wouldn't have similar decks. I would try and bring different decks. That way, I wouldn't have to worry about that copy restriction. I don't know. Lots to think about here, but it's very interesting. I think it will be refreshing. It will be something different. Um, and I don't know. I think folks are very excited about this. My first thought was, I'm always struggling to pull together a deck at the last moment, and I'm like, now I have to do three.
That's the one downside I feel like to the format is like it's hard to convince people to build a deck and show up. Now I got to convince people to build three decks that are well thought out, that are all different,
Yeah.
that have, it's kind of a big ask. It's a lot of preparation.
I mean, it is because if you build a deck and you come and you don't do well with it, then I'm not always an adjuster. I'm more like, okay, well, I'm just going to scrap that and then start with something new, unless it's a leader that I really want to play with. And then, as we are all aware of, sometimes I get stuck on a leader and I just can't make them perform well. So, we'll see how this goes. But I'm excited by it and want to see how this goes.
Yeah, when my first thought was like, I don't want to play against Sabine, so like if I see Sabine as one of the lists, I'm gonna be like, yeah, ban that one. But if I see a Padme red, I'm gonna be like, I don't know what that is, whatever. Yeah, like what's going on there? And it's just a Sabine deck. It's just all the same 50 cards that Sabine plays. I mean, it probably isn't as strong as having the Sabine leader, obviously, but being able to like sneak that in when they didn't know that's what it was.
But they got to keep that coordinate up so you can come up with your strategy and
God,
hopefully.
I can't wait to get coordinate out of my freaking premier deck. There's so many upgrades coming next set that are just gonna make Rex so much better. Listen, coordinate's fun and all. I love Clone Wars. Oh my god, it's a terrible, terrible keyword.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
All right. Well, that was a little bit of the teaser that we have coming in the future from Star Wars Unlimited. We can't wait to try this out. Personally, I can't wait. I'm probably going to actually start building decks to get ready for this. Okay. So, I found this article this week. that I thought was perfect, and I really wanted to talk about it because I kind of wanted to humble brag a little bit. So TCGPlayer, as we often talk about, like we go through their article. I like to read their articles. And one of the ones I found this week was 10 SWU cards you should buy before Legends of the Force. And I wanted to call out the ones that they had called that I had also called in the past when the prices were lower. So Luke Skywalker's back up to about $45 right now, and at one point he was 30, and I did call that was going to go back up. The Force is with me has had no major price shift, but I do see that one coming soon, and that one was also mentioned in the article along with Force Choke, which also had no major price shift. The lightsabers, the Jedi Saber was $2, as well as Fallen was $2 a couple weeks back before I said now they're back up to $5. General's Blade, no major price shift yet. Force Lightning, this one I'm pretty proud of. I got 3 copies for $2 each, and now they're $8 a pop. And then Force Throw,
So glad I grabbed mine.
which is an uncommon Force Throw, 20 cents is now $1.30.
Mm.
Did you say
You think
Force
it
Lightning
holds
was a
that?
regret of yours?
No, I was saying I was happy I grabbed that set
Oh, yeah.
1. I just love Force Lightning. Like they have a card for it. That's awesome.
It's going
I can't believe
deck.
it's. Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, what do you guys think about
Force
this?
Lightning,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say Force Lightning, a super laser tech always feels good.
Oh yeah, it's gonna feel great.
I think this list is pretty good. I'm a little surprised to see so many uncommons on it though. Force Choke and Force Throw and whatnot. Like
Yeah,
I don't know.
that was a little weird. They're really reaching. Like there were so many other cards they could have chosen, but for the most part, they're not bad. The ones that shocked me were Clone actually, because we've just never seen it really take off. But it has potential.
Yeah.
But we've just never seen it.
No. I won't get on that soapbox, but I'm very anti-clone.
I mean, we got time.
I just don't think that. Historically with TCGs, it's never really been worth it to have cards in your deck that are only good if my opponent has things in their deck that are worth copying. And for this to be worth it, they have to have already played a huge threat that I want to copy, or I have to have already played a huge threat that I want to copy, and that feels like a win more, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on clone.
I think that's extremely fair. I wish it would make it just sounds like it could be so good, but it's never made a market impact. Oh, Ahsoka Tano was on there that was interesting, which makes a lot of sense because we're gonna get back to a unit heavy meta where I feel like we're coming out, well, maybe not a unit heavy meta like across the board, but at least in our local shops it's going to be unit heavy because of all the new like Force units, right?
Now her price at her cost at 4 is a little aggressive for it being a 3/5. They're trying to push more of like the 3 cost 3/5s, but her ability is still relevant and she's got good tags. So
I'm still waiting for that somebody to just use the fringe tag to its full potential. There's just so much there.
Yeah.
It's just, and clearly it's going to come at some point and it's going to be awesome. But I'm telling you something. They got to do something. They got to get me a fringe leader.
We got that one card.
Yeah, we have. It's.
We just got one.
It's the Royal Guard security wing team. Yeah,
it's the
cool.
blue one. Yeah.
It was weird to me that they suggested so many uncommons. Like
it is. I did see at the bottom of the article what you were talking about with Force Throw potentially being banned. It's interesting that they brought it up too.
Yeah, they were aware. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to get rid of my Quinlan showcase soon. I may have held on to it for too long. Another interesting fact is the box prices. So right now the most expensive box is Spark of Rebellion again, followed by Legends of the Force, then Shadows of the Galaxy, then jump to Lightspeed, then Twilight at the bottom. Just interesting. But yeah, anybody else have any thoughts on this TCGPlayer article? I think we've kind of covered it. How about this? Anyone have any cards they predict will just see an explosion at some point in the meta? I'm not saying it has to be anytime soon, but
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Palpatine's Return. It's a 6-drop.
Oh, absolutely.
And it gets, and of course, it gets force units cheaper. And I think, especially like in the Anakin deck that ignores aspect penalties, like I just think, and I didn't see as much discard interaction as I was expecting, especially with having Night Sisters and stuff in this set. But I still think it's got to be coming. It's got to be coming soon. So I think being able to yank something out of the graveyard, especially a force something, I think that's gonna pop off. It's just a matter of time.
Chris, do you have a card?
Not particularly. I agree with what's on the list and what's been said. Like I've actually played Clone before, and I mean you can't. It can help and it can save you, but I agree with what Steve said. It's very situational. Like clone a Crate Dragon, and if you've already got one down, and you've got your opponent's got some problems on their hands, but otherwise, it again, it's very situational. But
like Magic, I played a lot of Magic, and there was a card they released in Magic called Clever Impersonator. It was only 4 cost, and it could copy anything on the battlefield, anything that wasn't a resource, it could copy it, and it's all 0 play because it's like I don't want to put stuff in my deck that requires my opponent to have something already in play. I just want to deal with whatever my opponent has in play, or I want to play something of my own. I don't want to just copy what they have. It's almost like you're settling to fall behind.
And that's the biggest issue I had with Clone, is that it's a 7 cost. There are so many other cards that are a better play than Clone for 7,
Yeah, and non-leader, non-vehicle is like, oh dang, well I can't even get a Devastator with this thing. Like what can I get? I have to hope they have a Crate Dragon, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
And I gotta take 7. I gotta take 7 when I passed it. So
yeah,
it's not even good in that scenario.
Crate Dragon's gonna be meta very much so next.
Oh yeah.
My card is I thought it was gonna be Execute Order 66, but the more I think about it, my problem is 6 damage isn't gonna be enough in this new meta. I think that card's not gonna be great. The card that I have my eye on, there are 2. One for Jedi and one for Sith. The Darth Maul unit from Twilight, being able to attack twice, and then especially with the Darth Maul's lightsaber that we're getting, that gives it a +4/+2 with Overwhelm, so you're hitting for 9 damage with Overwhelm twice. That, and then Ayla Secura, because as much as I just talked crap on Coordinate, if you have Coordinate, she doesn't take any damage when she attacks, which is just nuts.
She's a menace.
Yeah, she's a menace to society. But those are the cards that.
Yeah. Why does Order 66 have to give them clones when they die?
Yeah, that's always been weird to me. Shouldn't I get the clone?
That's annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Or like, can we do more damage because they're getting clones? So like, can I do like?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
The other thing is, if you look at a lot of the Jedi that we're getting, most of them have 4 or 5 health, and with leaders like Kenobi or something, it's going to be really easy to ramp these guys up. Order 66 isn't going to do enough even by turn 3. That's my new concern, because now that I've been thinking about it. Because that was on my list weeks ago that I said, you should buy these for 30 cents. They're not going anywhere because they're not going to be enough. I didn't realize
just like
that
in movies.
Looking. Yeah. It's just like a temporary stop. But yeah, let us know below what you think we should buy, and let us know if you have any disagreements with the article or any interest in the new mode, and just give us your thoughts. Chris, would you like to teach us about a new friend that's coming next set?
Sure. So we've talked about this card several times in different episodes, but we brought it up last episode, I do believe, and mispronounced it. So we're going to correct that first off. And the card that I picked for our lore corner is Doom. And I'm going to give a spoiler alert here. If you have never watched Star Wars Rebels, um, ignore me for just a bit. Um, if you plan on watching the show and you don't want anything spoiled, just fast forward just a little bit. So Doom.
Timestamps below, as always.
Yes. And now, of course, I have closed the tab with all the with the card in it to tell you what it is. But Doom, from my memory, is a 4-cost double blue card. He is a 2/7 force creature. And when the regroup phase starts, give an experience token to each other friendly non-vehicle unit. So that is that ability there, and then also having a 7 butt, being able to stay on the field for a while is what has made him a popular card in my eyes, at least. But anyhow, who Doom is. Doom appears to Ezra in Star Wars Rebels after Ezra's master Kanan Jarrus dies. Doom is this huge, giant Loth wolf, and what a Loth wolf is, also coming in next set, is a wolf from the planet Lothal, one of the main locations in Rebels. But Doom can actually talk and speak, and he often visits Ezra and talks to him, and becomes this guiding force helping Ezra along when he's lost and on this broken path because he had just lost his master. Doom is actually a force manifestation of Kanan's will, and Doom is the actual real name of Kanan Jarrus before he went on the run and into hiding during the Great Jedi Purge. I always thought it was really cool that some of the Jedi Masters from Star Wars, come back as Force ghosts or apparitions, but instead Kanan comes back as this big giant talking wolf. I think it kind of speaks to Ezra because Ezra has this sensitivity to living creatures and animals and this ability to connect with them, and also because he needed to be able to let go and move on from losing his master. And then in SWU, the Doom card and the new Ezra unit that's coming really work well together. They connect together and they just synergize really well. So I thought this was a great nod to Rebels and the story of Ezra and Kanan as Master and Padawan. And that is my lore corner.
This is why I love Star Wars. Cool stuff like this.
Agreed.
Absolutely. What is he like? I remember watching the show. Is he like? He just says Doom, right? Like he just says it over and over when he first sees him. Just like Doom.
Yeah, I do recall that. Dude, it's such a good show. Like I watched the first season like when I was a kid, and it's a lot like the first season of Clone Wars. Like they were trying to figure out what they were doing, and then once they got it, oh, it was off to the races. It's one of the best Star Wars projects they've worked on.
Agreed.
And I'm so glad it's getting the recognition it finally deserves, and it's continuing on in the new canon. I actually kind of put me on the stake, whatever you want. I liked the Ahsoka show. I said it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I liked
I
it.
thought it was fine too.
I liked it too. There were some. It wasn't amazing, but I maybe I liked it even more because I was such a fan of Rebels, and they were bringing all of those characters to life. I'm excited for the next season to see what they do and where they go with it, because I have a feeling that it's going to get even more pumped up, and maybe it was like Rebels where the first season was kind of like finding its way, and then it's really going to pop off the next season. I just have this feeling that it's kind of going to go that way.
I have equal excitement. You bring Big Daddy Thrawn into the picture, he's going to do some big scary things.
Yeah.
As long as Shin Hati is in it, that's all that matters.
Oh, she is. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, no. So that was awesome. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that with us. As always, we appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
All right, Cole's Market Report. Not some crazy stuff this week, because as we talked about, like we're in the point where we're in between sets. We're seeing like a few things here and there scattered that have like real price shifts that I have here. But for the most part, things are just kind of steady right now. But I've pulled up a couple that really shocked me. Y'all, Cad Bane, $10. Down from an all-time high of like 27.
That's upsetting.
This is when we were talking the other day, Steve. You were like, Twilight boxes can't be that low, and we're gonna get to what their prices are. Twilight boxes can't be that low. They are, because they're just. I think it's the most open set. It has the lowest EV. However, it does make me kind of want to open a box of it because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spark box. This one shocked me. Spark boxes are back up to 120 plus shipping, 135 all in. They were $80 2 weeks ago. People are going for the Lukes. They're going for the Falcons. They're going for the Sabers. It's like it's set one all over again. It's crazy.
The Cunnings and the Vigilances and yeah.
Dude, you know what else floored me? This one's good. I don't have this in the notes, but I'm bringing it up anyway. The freaking 2-player starter kit from set 1, I'm not kidding, $72 on TCGPlayer.
Ooh.
Why? Yeah, I know.
Why?
I know. I legitimately do not understand.
What card is in there that's
I
keeping
don't
the
think
value
there
up
is
that
one. I
high?
think I don't. That's the part that I do not understand. There's nothing in
Do you
there
think
that's
it's the
crazy.
foil leaders?
There's no shot. I should have done more research before bringing this up, but you let us know below if you can think of why. My only thoughts is that maybe there aren't a lot left in the wild.
Yeah, I think people are just holding it on for just to keep it sealed.
That one floored me. I'm not sure. Shadow boxes are back to 75 plus shipping, so like $85 in, which weirdly Shadows is now the second most expensive box again. I didn't see that one coming. Force Lightning we already talked about. It's about $7.50 to $8 from $2 only a month ago. I called it. What can you say? I'm like Rain Man. It's not true. Do not take financial advice from me. Okay, this one shocked me. Overwhelming Barrage is a $3 card again.
Yeah, it's a busted card.
It's so good, but it's just uncommons. I'm just always shocked that when uncommons are expensive.
New Anakin can cast it.
Oh,
Just pretty,
you're right.
Pretty bonkers.
Yeah. Y'all, the Red Devastator is $7.50. You remember when that was a $30 card at draft night and pre-release?
They were so common though in reality. Like I remember, like 5 of us would pull them during draft night, and
Oh
they were
yeah,
30.
there were a lot of them. Oh yeah. My buys of the week, Twilight boxes, like we said, they're $46, including shipping. They're almost paying you to get them out. That is less than $2 a pack. If you want to rip something, I'd rip one of these. What are you looking for? Honestly, the showcase. That's pretty much it. There's some decent like hits in there, but they're not valuable hits. Millennium
But it's like, and then
sorry. Now there
it's
are
like
two of them.
Then there were, yeah. Now there are 2 of them. I think is like the
Cad
only one, right?
Bane,
Yeah.
which we just talked about, is only $10. The showcase is obviously. That actually might be the best hits. Now there are 2 of them is also only like $10.
There's some decent Force units in that set.
Oh, they're great. They're very cheap, but they're. I'm talking like economic value. Yeah, like there's Darth Maul, there's Ayla Secura, there's Kiadi Mundi. There's great cards. It's just the economic value and expected value of making your money back on your box is not going to happen unless you pull a showcase.
But I mean, for $46, I mean,
True, which is why it's on the buy of the week. Absolutely. Millennium Falcons back down to $22. Dude, I'm thinking about buying another 3, holding them and flipping them. I'm not even gonna lie. That price point is kind of tempting.
I never got my playset.
Oh, it's not a bad.
Now
Steve,
might be the
it
time.
is not a bad time.
Might be the
Might
time.
be the time. And then I said this earlier. Darth Maul's 350 from Twilight, and I think it's gonna be broken. And with the new with the new Maul lightsaber in a Revan deck. But yeah, that's the Star Wars updates. I'm just gonna go a little bit quickly through the Magic the Gathering because I know we all kind of got back into that. Dude, the Final Fantasy stuff's insane. Like the fact that collector boxes are $1,000 and play boxes are $200 is a little upsetting. I'm not gonna lie. Some crazy cards to point out. There's this really cool one called Stay With Me, which is a Ristic Study reskin. It's about $120, which is cool. Also, I wanted to point out the collector boxes. They're not only are they $1,000. Cole, is anyone buying them? Dude, 45 are sold every day on TCGPlayer. It's crazy. The Buster Sword is $60. And I pulled one, so I feel pretty good about that. Looking over the horizon, the next Universes Beyond is Spider-Man, and the boxes are already at $600 for collector boxes, so I don't think this will change for any of the Universes Beyond stuff.
Is that like a full like set like Final Fantasy was, or is
Yeah,
that just like what they did with SpongeBob?
But we'll get to a happy thing in a second. But yes, it's it's a full in-universe set, or Universes Beyond, excuse me. Yeah, it's like Final Fantasy, exactly. So we're getting Universe Beyond sets that we're getting this year. Final Fantasy is what we just got. Then we're getting Spider-Man. Then we're getting Avatar: The Last Airbender. But we're also going to receive 3 in-universe Magic sets, which is my happy thing to say, because I also looked on TCGPlayer for those boxes, and I'm happy to report that they are normally priced at $300 for collectors and $115 or $20 for play boxes right now. So, like we have been saying all along, the issue is not supply, it is the stupid licensing rights on these extremely expensive collaborations. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is the next Magic set at least has good potential for, if you want to open Magic packs that's affordable, we're going to get a set like that again. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's hard to believe that Marvel and Disney wouldn't have super expensive licensing rights over Final Fantasy, though.
Oh no, I think we're going to see the exact same because remember, when I had started talking about the Final Fantasy collector boxes months ago, they started at $500 or $600. I think the exact same thing is going to happen with, unless I've misunderstood what you just said and that's what you're saying. I think exactly the same thing's going to happen, Chris. Like it'll be 600, 700 as we get closer, 800, 900, 1,000 as people keep opening them.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised either, because I would just think that licensing would be more expensive for, Disney and Marvel than it would be for Final Fantasy. It's a bigger IP.
And the other argument that I've heard, Disney doesn't want, they're going to make them fight for it, because why would they want, because remember, side note, Magic the Gathering Arena doesn't have the rights for these licenses. Remember, the Spider-Man's going to have 2 different sets. Remember this thing we talked about? So they couldn't even get the digital rights. Why, as the Disney Corporation, do I want another card game to take away from my market share that is Star Wars Unlimited and Lorcana? So I am 100% in agreement with you, Chris. They're going to make it even more difficult.
Yeah, because all the Final Fantasy cards are on Arena, so they didn't have an issue getting the rights for digital versions of that.
But yeah, it's a fascinating time to be a Magic player. Once again, my suggestion is I'm not going to lie, I have opened a couple packs. I've opened like 6 of the play boosters, and I opened 1 of the collector boosters. Do not open the collector boosters. Oh my god, was that a poor financial decision of mine. And I opened a pack, not a box, to be clear. But weirdly, out of my 6 packs, I've pulled 3 $15+ cards. So, gambling good? I don't know.
Gambling rewarded.
Gambling rewarded? It's been working out for me. And I know Chris pulled some good stuff from the set too. But yeah, I think my overall recommendation for this is just buy the singles you want. Buy a pack here and there if you can find them for under $10, but I don't know if the other thing is this bubble has to pop, and the reason I say that is because it's the most sold set of all time, which means it's the most pulled set of all time, which means in theory there should be the most singles of all time on the market. We just got to wait more time and see what happens. Because this only came out on last Friday, which is just crazy. And yeah. So real quick about Pokemon, the bubble's going to burst in the next 5 to 10 months. Why am I saying this? Because stores are actually getting supply again and not selling out instantly because the last 2 sets really haven't hit with the community. So the fever is going to fall back for a little bit. There are bundles for the new set that are actually almost at MSRP in stores and are at MSRP on TCGPlayer, which is crazy. And then we're going to get 2 big reprints in the next 3 months. It's also going to dilute the market. It's going to be really interesting to watch. If you can find stuff for MSRP, do it. But I think the days of paying over MSRP can kind of be done. And yeah, that's my rant. Thank you for listening. Chris, want to play Name That Card?
Sure. Give me a second, because as usual, I have now closed the window that had.
All right, Steve. We only have 3 questions each.
No, I don't.
Oh, can't waste them.
Can't waste them.
It'd be a shame if I did.
It'd be a shame if I guessed on the first card.
I wouldn't leave you alone like that.
All right.
Okay, let's go Steven and Cole.
Sounds good.
Ooh, okay. All right, we'll start with what set is this from?
Shadows.
What are the colors?
Yellow. Just yellow.
I have to be really careful here. Because Cole will immediately know what it is. Is this a unit?
No.
Okay. So we're dealing with an event or an upgrade. Is it an upgrade?
No.
So it's an event. Okay.
It's an event. Now, there's one that comes to mind.
Yeah, but he said it's just yellow, not yellow-black.
It's just yellow.
But I'm also thinking the other one, too. But there's so many good yellow events. From
Yeah, this
I can think
is
of almost 4 right now, actually. I'm not going to guess next. You can ask another question. Because even if we get the number, like even if we get the resources, there's a bunch.
All right, what is the cost of this card?
6.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Chris,
if you know it, go ahead and guess it, because I won't know.
When you said earlier, this is not my question. This is clarification question. When you said just yellow, could that imply that there are 2 yellows?
No, it's just 1.
Oh, then it's evacuate.
Very, very good.
I thought it might also
indeed.
be Final Showdown.
No, it is evacuate.
Oh, Final Showdown. Yep. Dang.
Evacuate is burned into my mind from the day that Steve bounced like 22 units off of a Twin Suns board. And I wasn't even upset. I just went, all right, 3 more turns it is. 3.
The best part was it was Reuben's turn, and I was messaging him like I'm about to, because we had just teamed up, and I didn't want him to think that I was immediately backstabbing him, so I was like, I'm about to evacuate, and he sent back LOL. And that's it.
God. But yeah.
Good job, Cole.
Thank you. Every so often. I was like, I'm not going to guess, and then, whoops, my bad. I was hoping he would say like 2 or 3, because I was thinking like, oh, surprise strike, bamboozle, stuff like that.
I may have eventually gotten evacuate. I don't know. It would have taken me a minute.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for Under the Twin Suns. We'll catch you next week. Leave us a comment below telling us what your favorite moment in Star Wars is, and tell people you care about them. Bye-bye now.